Welcome back to the show. I have Samantha and Doug here from the Helping Hands Food Bank in Tillsonburg. So welcome to the show.
Thank you for having us.
So Helping Hands Food Bank is obviously a food bank in Tillsonburg. When did they first start?
That was
long before we were
yes.
there.
I feel like it was 1991 is when they started originally. I'm relatively new.
This is my second year on the board.
Okay.
So we're at our second location in Tillsonburg from where we originally were.
Okay. And then what services, obviously there's food, but what services does the food bank offer?
So we are doing a weekly service to the community of Tillsonburg. That consists of 2 different methods that they can come in, pick up food. We have a caring cupboard where they can do a little bit of a shop for themselves and pick out some items. And then we also deliver to anybody who might have mobility issues that can't come in. We'll take their order over the phone and then deliver out to them every Wednesday.
And that's in Tillsonburg. That's right. Okay.
Yep.
So where do you get the food?
Oh, several different places. So we are a member of Feed Ontario, which is a food bank organization. They're like our mother food bank type of deal. And they have a lot of community partners that they distribute out to all of the food banks in Ontario. And we also get a lot of donations from the community. So grocery stores, bakeries, and then the people themselves.
Okay. So I know we were talking about this on the break. I had heard that there were some larger organizations. I'm going to pick on Starbucks. Starbucks, I love you. But I had heard that places similar to that would take the food at the end of the day and actually destroy it rather than donate it. That's not true?
So I don't know the amount that they're donating, but we do have a distributor who brings around food weekly to all the food banks in Southern Ontario. And there are some items from Starbucks on there, as well as some other big box stores. So I can say that we are getting at least some. I don't know as to how much, but there is some in there. So
that is a big relief. Because as somebody, you see it on Instagram or you see it on TikTok, it must be real, right? So I have seen something like that before, and that was really discouraging and kind of heartbreaking that would happen. But it's nice to hear that you guys are getting donations. Yeah. And you'd mentioned there's actually local grocery stores.
Yes. So we are very fortunate. Every single grocery store in Tillsonburg actually donates to us. So we have a partnership. There's 2 gentlemen that go out every Tuesday. They are amazing. Some of our very fantastic volunteers, and they pick up from every grocery store. They put it aside in their back room, and we'll pick it up every Tuesday.
Wow, that's incredible.
When you're talking about donations, I recall a story from back in the summer. And there was a couple that every year when they have their wedding anniversary, they'll donate that many pounds of whatever. So their 50th wedding anniversary was this past summer. They donated 50 bags of milk.
Wow, really?
And we have people that donate vegetables out of their garden, for example.
No kidding. I've actually had people drop me off like gigantic zucchinis out of their garden because it just grows so much they don't know what to do with it. So for anybody that's listening or watching right now, if they grow gardens and they end up with too many bags of tomatoes, they can donate it. You guys will take it.
Yes.
Okay. So for anybody that is watching that may need to potentially lean on the food bank, how do they access your service?
The best way would be to call us. So that's 519-688-3434. And they would reach one of our intake staff, and they just let us know that they're in need of food. We just take their address and to prove that they're in Tillsonburg, and then they would come in for an intake appointment on Wednesday, and they would leave with food that day.
Okay. So we talked about this before as well. There's been quite an increase.
Yes.
Year over year. What you said, it was like double-digit increase.
Yeah, so we're about 20% higher usage. Last year, we averaged 70 services a week, so 70 households coming in to use the food bank. Right now, we're just under 90.
Wow. Huge increase. Do you see that continuing?
I think it's going to increase.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just based on the economy at the present moment.
People are struggling.
Yes.
Yeah, and I know we had I think it was United Way that was here at Christmas time and talking about the fact that the need has increased. And, households that would have never, ever had to use a food bank before are now there because of the issues.
Yes.
So how can people, how did you guys get involved? How did you get involved with the food bank?
Do you want to start?
I got involved with the previous coordinator, said they were looking for somebody to join the board. I sent in my resume, the board approved me. Now here I am president, so I just have a
Congratulations.
passion for helping people.
Okay. And
Yeah.
are you looking for more volunteers and more support?
Always,
Okay.
always, especially with the growing services.
Right.
Mhm.
So if you are watching and looking for a volunteer opportunity and have a passion to help people, definitely reach out then.
Yes,
Okay.
I
please.
want to mention that we have a great group of volunteers.
We do.
They could do this work blindfolded, as I tell people. They work at such a great team. They know what they're doing, and they are amazing.
Yes.
Okay. And so from the community then, how can the community help?
The easiest way is probably when you're in the grocery store. If you see that food box bin at the front and you can pick up an item or two to drop into it, that would be a humongous help. Monetary donations are always welcome as well.
Okay. So from a demand standpoint, do you foresee this going into significant increases?
I believe it will, yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's absolutely heartbreaking.
it is.
So you had mentioned the phone number was 519,
688-3434.
and do you guys have a website?
We do.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm going to put you on the spot. Do you have a
Oh.
website?
Helpinghandsfoodbank.com.
Yes.
Okay. Well, it's very nice to hear that, the bad stories of the big box companies and the big corporations were not being supportive, but they are in fact being supportive. And it's nice to know that the grocery stores are that food's not going to waste. It is being donated.
We've had a number of service clubs and corporations also make monetary donations, so that's great as well.
Yes.
Because we do have to buy some things.
Right. Okay. Well, it was, as much as I would love to say it's not a pleasure, it is a pleasure to have you on the show. It's a shame that we have to have these types of services, but thank you to both of you for being a part of it and bringing the awareness that it is available. So if you do need that helping hand, reach out and do the intake form, and you guys are there to support.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah.
It was a pleasure. Thanks very much for being on the show today.
Thank you.
That's all we have for today. Thanks very much for watching. We'll see you next time.